So, you see this thing. I assume you guys have now, after seeing the creature rise up, you've moved into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So,
out of tentacle reach, anyway.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's the most important thing to be out of reach of. So the water... here's the deal. This room in here is actually shallower than what's out here, because this is a downstairs and then an upstairs where Chester is. So the water's running into this room and filling it up fairly quickly. So there's probably like a thin puddle of water on the ground. Not deep, but slowly rising, and even if it were to stop, it would probably fill up this room a bit quicker than the rest. And so with that being mentioned, you begin to see this beast crawling slowly, and it appears that it's going to have to squeeze through this little path, but it's just kind of sitting outside and waiting for something. It doesn't appear to be hiding anymore. We're not in initiative, but what do you guys do?
Guys, come help me with the rocks!
Aelin, get those rocks out of the way.
My hands are too pretty. I can't do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I run over and start helping Chester, but...
Okay.
Can I help by blasting it magically, or is that not...
I mean, yeah, you can use whatever tools are at your disposal to try and clear the rock pile in front of you.
Do it.
Yeah, so I guess I would tell Chester to step back a little bit. And send a guy. We've committed. We are so committed at this point. To guiding bolt the shit out of these rocks, hopefully.
Okay, cool. Yeah, roll a guiding bolt. It's not gonna be hard to hit him. It's more about like guiding bolt actually doing the damage to him. Yeah, it's not the hitting him part. That's the hard part. 19 is a lot of damage, though. That's a good roll. I think you do blast a bit of the rocks out of the way, and you can probably see it's not enough to finally get the whole pathway opened up for you, but just because I am a cruel master, let me show you a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Not quite enough for you to squeeze through yet, but you've made a hole that you can then begin to work on. Meanwhile, what are you doing, Farron? It sounded like you had a plan.
I'm currently trying to make sure they can sort our escape route out. So I've got my sword and shield out, fully prepared. Are
you like taunting the beast at all?
I don't know if I should be taunting it if it's just sitting there.
Yeah, it seems to be just like kind of hanging out, and it's got those three eyes, one like kind of on top of each other, and they're kind of like twisting around, and you can see the slime kind of like sliding off of it. It almost looks like it's smiling at you.
Brilliant.
Get creeped on.
Okay, what I will do is I am going to try and blind it for at least a round.
Okay. Sure.
So let's...
So you're gonna... So what does that look like? Tell us what that looks like.
So, in my hands, sparkling obviously occurs, and then it just turns into a thick black kind of smog. So I just launch it from my hands as it hits this creature in its face. Yeah, exactly.
Just like that. Just like that. Is that what you want, Farron? Is that what you want?
Yes, and hopefully the fog will cling to its eyes
Cool. Yeah. So I need to roll a Constitution save. Is that what's going on here?
Wish I could see all this cool stuff.
Are you carrying a torch exactly for this purpose?
Who?
Fair.
Oh, I don't need torches. I'm just that awesome.
I thought pyrotechnics required fire to start from.
I don't know of that rule. Is that a rule? Is that a real thing?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
I passed the save, so, you know.
Get fucked.
Let me grab this book real quick and see what he's going to do in return to you, Farron.
You poked the bear.
So, Farron, it's going to be a saving throw of some sort. I just got to figure out what type.
Ooh.
Yeah, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Huh. Okay. Wisdom isn't too great. I don't have inspiration, so fun.
A 14.
It's not bad.
14 is not bad.
It's not spectacular.
Fantastic. So, Farron, you get that shortness of breath feeling, that... and for a second your vision blurs. And you think maybe something backfired in your spell, because it's almost like if you were hit with pyrotechnics. And you hear a voice, and it says, "Come to me, Farron. Come." And you shake your head, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're looking around, you blink a couple times, and you rub your eyes, and you slap yourself in the face a few times, and as suddenly as it came upon you, it fades, and your vision clears. And you look at the creature, and the creature's smile kind of falls a little bit, or what you assume to be a smile, and you can feel beginning to radiate off of it this burning rage. So, Chester, are you going to attempt to continue digging through this tunnel here?
Absolutely.
Cool. So go ahead and roll me another athletics check with strength.
Woo!
That's good.
Okay, that is pretty good. So you make the hole big enough that people in lighter armor or with no armor could squeeze through, but you realize that Aelin probably with her heavy armor probably can't get through that just yet. May require it may require one more additional check to burst through that.
God damn it.
But it is technically Aelin's turn, right? So Aelin, what are you gonna do?
Just ram it with your body. Just
realizing I don't fit, can I pull the shield off my back and just run towards it and try to throw all my weight into the rocks?
Sure, yeah, that'd be an athletics check. If you want to roll me an athletics check with strength.
Okay.
That sounds like a strength check. 14's pretty good. You pull your shield off, you strap it on, you nod at Chester, and you charge inward, and you smash the stone, and it begins to break apart. You go flying through the barrier. Oops, not like that.
And explode!
Go flying through the barrier and break out onto the other side. So Farron, you hear this commotion coming from behind you, and you turn and you see Aelin has opened up a hole on the other side of the map, or the other side of the rocks.
Brilliant.
So what are you gonna do?
Totally
Farron?
my doing.
Farron, it is your turn.
If if it's my turn, then I'll shout at the beast. Sorry, but it looks like we'll have to have our little dance a bit later. As I start running.
Okay. The water's not quite high enough to get you through. Are you going to dash, I assume?
I am going to dodge. As
You're gonna hold the gap.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. It's actually the creature's turn now. Seeing you run and seeing that you have escaped its clutches, it begins to move inward. And Chester, as it comes up on you, you turn and you look at the beast, and I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Gone.
Man. Cool. Chester, as you begin to turn around and you see this creature, your vision blurs. And you hear a voice that you recognize. It sounds a lot like Vi. And she says to you, Chester, this thing does not want to harm you. It wants to show you where the evil is. The evil that killed me. Take Farron. Go with it. And you are charmed at this juncture. And
man, I even have advantage against charmed.
Your command is to grab Farron and follow this beast into its watery pit.
Well, obviously I gotta follow his command. He seems so pretty.
And it is indeed your turn.
So I'm gonna go over here, grab Farron by the hand, and say, "We've gotta go, Farron. Vi needs us. She knows where the evil is," and try and pull him towards the aboleth.
So, Farron, you're probably surprised at this action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you disadvantage on your athletics or acrobatics for Chester to grapple you and attempt to start dragging you towards the beast.
Oh,
so each of you roll acrobatics or athletics, your choice, as per the normal grapple rules. An 18. Great. Holy shit! Farron with the 24. So Farron, how do you get out of that grapple?
You know, I'm not kidding around with this beast. I'm already hearing strange voices in my head.
Yeah.
So, as soon as Chester comes up saying things about Vi, I know something's not right. So, I immediately managed to grab his arm that was reached out to me and kind of stop him from grabbing hold of me instead.
Yeah, totally. So, you're free from the grip. Aelin, I assume you continue on and begin running deeper into the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't look like that water is like rushing in this area. It looks like you can go south or you can go north.
What was the direction that we came in from? North?
It was more northerly.
North-ish?
It was more north than this. Yes.
Split second decision, go south.
Okay. Always go left.
Yep, that's my exact logic.
Cool. So you begin moving. So go ahead and move your token as far as you can to the southerly entrance. Yeah, totally. So you're able to get there, and you begin, I guess, flagging your people to come on. Is the action you're going to take, are you going to dash and just try and book it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to put as much distance between the water and that thing. And
Sure. Yeah. So Farron, it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to grab Chester.
Sure. Yeah, make a grapple check on him.
How are you going to grab me? Are you like gonna grab my wrist? Or are you like fully gonna grab me?
Oh, I'm fully going to grab you.
Yeah, he's just going to attempt to grapple you.
Okay, so then I definitely try and dodge that.
Yep. Chester, you didn't roll.
Or
right?
not.
Yeah. So, Farron, you can move half your distance, right? You count as being, like, in difficult terrain, but you can drag Chester, like, past the rocks, but you can only move 15 feet, right?
Yes.
Right.
So.
Totally. So you can drag Chester. So you begin dragging him along. It's fine, Hannibal. It's fine. So you hear the beast behind you begin to roar and begin to recede. You hear it like moving away. And Chester, you are given a new directive. You are given the directive to follow these two and relay updates to their position to your newfound master.
I roll against charm every time it's my turn, right?
Incorrect. Not with this charm.
Oh.
This is far more advanced than your simple charm person.
Okay, so Chester, struggling in Farron's grasp, is like, well, what was I thinking? You're right, let's get out of here. And intends to follow them.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. So, the group of you begin to head south in the southerly direction, or south via the map. So, let's leap back over to our other three, now that the party is split. I'll move everybody over to the Nuln map at this point, because we're going to be traveling probably through some tunnels for a while. So, the Arkady, Morella, and Hannibal combo. If you guys could roll me investigation checks.
Oh boy, should have saved that fucking inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's okay.
And Dane, sure. Yes, Dane as well. Hannibal, can you roll at this point? I assume? Okay, or not. That's fine. Investigation. Hey, Hannibal's good at investigation. Hey, look at that. And Dane.
I'm not.
Holy
I
shit.
can't believe, out of all the things that I don't have proficiency in, as a mastermind rogue, investigation is one of them.
Yeah, that seems...
Poor choices.
That seems bad. However, Dane and Hannibal to the rescue, rolling a 20 and 21 respectively.
I'm too used to being the half-elf bard.
There you go. So Dane with the Hannibal with the help of Dane flying into areas that you guys can't really traverse and like across like giant water and all that stuff. You find a relatively safe path, and you eventually kind of escape the dangers that the water had provided for you. So it's a lot of like kind of weaving and ducking in and out, and eventually you were, whatever the breach was or whatever caused the breach has been far enough in your past that it's kind of returned to a more normalish kind of entity. And so you begin to, being separated from the group, what do? You're in relative safety at this point. However, you are in a part of the sewers that you guys have no idea for. The map that was provided to you led you to where you were, and now you've traveled beyond that into areas where you don't know where it might be. But with the investigation checks going so well, you're able to find relative safety and at least determine that you are probably still somewhere underneath the river, but you're probably more to the closer to the original tunnel entrance that you guys found, so like in this area somewhere. You guys entered kind of and made it to right about here, and you guys have made it probably, and this is just, again, the investigation check is just based on like distance traveled, approximate direction in which you traveled. Your best guess is that you are somewhere like in, let me just draw a shape here, somewhere in like this area of the river, right? Not exact, right? Because you have no way of telling whether or not it's exact, but there you go. So Hannibal suggests to look away for the surface is his option.
Well, it seems like the best course of action. It seems like we need to get out of here, and hopefully the others can get out on their own.
Okay. To mention as well, it's probably been a while since you guys rested. You can totally go without, but it's getting later into the afternoon, and it may be advisable, being in a relatively safe location, to just mark this in your mental memory for later, in case you need to come back, in case you can't find a better location, or you don't find a way to the surface.
Yeah, that might be a good
also,
idea.
because you guys rolled such good investigation checks, I would say you know that you've gone down a little bit. You're a little bit deeper than you were previously. So, just to mention that. So, you guys could totally short rest it up now that you're not running for your lives from the burning water, the sulfur salt water. And you're in a much quieter area. I assume Hannibal is saying, not you guys, I did that. Yeah. You found the right way out, Hannibal. That is correct. Or at least the way to safety.
Yes.
So, you guys begin traveling. Or are you going to take a short rest? It's up to you. I'm advising that is a thing that you could do here and be safe. I'm not saying it because I want you guys to short rest so I could kill you. I'm saying it because if you wanted to take one, this is a good place to take one. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to like trap you guys, just so you know.
Well, Morella's actually fairly well off in terms of like health and things of that sort.
Yeah, I think Hannibal, you used a couple spells though, right? You probably, you don't know. That's right. So you're down to where the heck are your spell slots? Stupid warlocks.
So you can use one spell slot.
So you are down to one spell left, right? Technically, your hex is still active, though. You could totally like recast it, right? Because it's within 8 hours, so that's good. So you're down to one spell, and you are at 41 out of 50 health. 41 out of 50.
Wait, we could short rest?
Yeah, just to top everybody off. Also, maybe the thought in your mind is, if the others are going to catch up with you, you're going to have to stop at some point, right?
Yeah.
Like, if that's still the plan, if they're able to find a way out into you, you have to stop in order for them to catch up. If you just keep going, there's no way they're ever going to catch up with you.
Farron's a fast lad. Can't he catch up?
Yeah, no, Jackson, your spell lasts a total of 8 hours, which is, as long as the short rest is not, as long as it's not an 8-hour short rest, you're good. Which would then, I would just be a long rest and you'd be fine. Anyway.
Do we expect them to come the same way?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. They did say they were going to go get Chester, but it seems like they weren't following us.
Tracing our steps.
It wouldn't be harsh to take a short rest, I mean. And I put you down gently. You are kind of heavy.
I thought you had already put me down.
Oh no, I was carrying you this entire time.
Yes, I mean by now. Oh.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, milady. No.
Also, it might do you guys some good to dry out.
Yeah.
Everybody's a little
That
wet
too.
with this nasty
Dude,
sulfur.
this is why I hired Farron.
It's true. It's true. That's
Yeah.
a good option too, Hannibal. If you rest up and then have Dane like backtrack and see if he can find him, that's a good option. He can go out 30 minutes and come back 30 minutes and see if he links up with them. That's totally a thing he can do.
Yeah, let's have that happen then.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys get down. Merle, your torch is still good, but it won't last the whole rest of the rest. But I assume that maybe you prop it up and use that to kind of like wring your stuff out and dry what you can over that. You guys take your boots off and dump out the water and wring them out and all that other fun stuff.
It's not her only torch, so like
Right.
if it goes out, it goes out. So
Yeah. So during this hour-long kind of rest, in the relative quiet now, we see Arkady and Morella and Hannibal kind of lit up with the torchlight kind of flickering off their faces. Is there a conversation, or does anybody strike up any type of conversation during this hour you guys rest?
Oh yes. I wanted to last session with Petrov, but he wasn't here.
You have a good opportunity now.
Oh
Yeah, a rousing game of Kill Fuck Marry.
No. So I look at you, Petrov, as like, we're relaxing, resting up and while waiting on the others to see also the word from Dane back. And she just like sighs heavily and she's like, it's not my fault that I didn't even really think about the consequences of saying what I said in the court.
This is where your head is right now. Interesting. All right, what is your explanation here?
For what?
You say this, you wish me to understand that something which happened some days ago, hours? I forgot which day it is.
Oh.
It's technically so you're talking about the first day you came in, so it's like the day after that occurred.
Yeah.
We are currently running from Aboleth, and you wish to explain yesterday's court incident? I mean, I will listen, but...
I see no better time. You were obviously very upset with me.
Unimpressed.
Same difference, but... Yes.
Alright, what is your perspective on that then?
The matter was simply I was concerned. Perhaps if he told me how our Emperor is doing, it would ease my mind.
This was not the question you asked me, lady.
Again, I didn't think of it. I'm more of... God damn it, dude. It was more of just out of mere concern, is all.
Interesting. You find compromise between too blunt and not blunt enough, and is still ineffective. If you wish to ask about Emperor, ask about Emperor, and if he says he has no idea, then his story is covered, yes? But to ask how his trip was, his travel which he disguises, this is... never mind. Not your fault. Understood.
Alright. Yeah, so it's that, like, awkwardness, like, she feels like she's done something wrong, but she also feels like she didn't do something wrong, based on Petrov's, reaction. So.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Hannibal, you get a message from Dane. about halfway through this rest that you guys are taking. And he says, "Hey, boss. Can't find where they are. Don't see them anywhere. But looks like the water's subsided. Going down. Not as moving as quickly." To which I assume you respond, like, you info dump that to the group, right? Yeah, good, come back. Okay, cool. So Dane returns, or is on his way back, and I assume you pass it along. And he is. You say, "You've done well." He says, "Thank you, boss. I appreciate it. I strive to be the best that..." "Yes, master." As you tell him to shut up. Cool, awesome. So that I think that the end of the you give that to the group. So group, you're told by Hannibal that, like, hey, you know, it looks like whatever the deluge that was going on previously is subsided now. Whatever was causing that to occur is stopped. Maybe there's been a collapse and it's been resealed back up if it was dumping in from the river or whatever. Maybe the aboleth was controlling it and now it has, subsided, finishing whatever it needed to finish. So, the end of the rest, Dane returns. What does the group of you do? Is the plan to still find a way to the surface?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So the plan is still to find a way to the surface. So you guys begin to trek off in that direction. So let's jump back to the other three real quick. So other three, being Aelin and Farron and the Marvelous of Chester's. I need you guys now to roll me an investigation check, please.
Oh, because me and Chester are great at these.
Amazing.
Chester, you rolled really well.
I did.
Okay.
Oh.
That big old +0 I got there.
So, Chester and Aelin, you guys rolled high enough to kind of get you to a good enough area to, again, kind of similar to, kind of a mirror as to what we saw with the other group. Get to an area where, you're done running, the creature isn't chasing you anymore, it's kind of subsided, and so now you're all safe. And same question. It's getting late on. You guys may need to take a rest, maybe recover some, not spells, your spells come back on long rests, but, maybe roll some hit dice or something, to at least conserve your energy, because, again, you guys are off in a kind of unknown territory area as well. So do you guys take a rest? All right, yes, I will roll your hit dice for you, Hannibal.
Yeah, I'll just roll mine in the meantime.
You're at 45 out of 50. You want to roll again? Okay, cool. Cool. Spent 3.
I'll just spend that one. That'll be good.
So, do us three want to take a rest?
Yeah, I think it's best we take a breather.
All right.
Yeah, you guys had an arguably much more stressful run than the other three.
No, really?
I don't know about you guys, but I think we need to keep moving, get some things done.
And where do you suggest we move to?
I don't know, maybe try and find the others?
Is that not what we've been doing this whole time?
Well, obviously, shouldn't we keep looking?
Can I attempt a very hard perception check to see if I can see a glazing in Chester's eyes?
With this particular magic, there is no way that you would be able to discern it.
Okay, then my plan to counteract it is completely null and void.
Yeah, it would be unknown. He acted weird, but additionally, he seemed to have shook it off when he was like, "Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's a stupid idea. Fuck that. I don't know why I said that. Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah, Vi'd be great to help the party communicate with.
Yes, I totally would have. Fuck everything.
But you wouldn't have a literal angel on your team then.
Can't.
So,
I think
is it?
I would have
I think
at
it's
least,
2 versus 1.
Yeah, but I also think at some point I would have asked Chester. Wait, no, maybe I didn't see him do this. Did I see?
No,
him?
you were already on the other side of
damn
the.
it.
Yeah, you were on the other side of the rocks running by the time that whole situation occurred.
Okay, then never mind. I can't justify asking that then.
So, Chester, you said you heard Vi's voice?
Thank you, Fairman.
Hey, I thought I did, but it must have just been my imagination. It still wasn't that long ago.
That thing tried to talk to me as well, but I managed to shake off it from inside my head. Let's not listen to it, alright?
Yeah, of course.
Good.
Wait, you said you heard voices. Did it tell you to do something?
It tried to get me to go into the water with it. It seems to have got a crush on me.
A crush, you say? This sounds a bit familiar. Did you hear the same thing, Chester?
Just about, yeah.
Interesting. Alright, I think I'm gonna save what I was gonna do, but now I'm aware.
Sure, yeah. So the group of you are going to sit down and take your rest, or are you going to continue on? I think it was 2 versus 1 to rest up.
Yeah.
I would like to.
Okay.
2 versus 1, and we think Chester's fishy, so...
I mean, Chester, to be fair, Chester doesn't appear any more fishy than normal. Chester
Which is a lot.
Right.
Fair.
Chester is always fishy, right? Like,
Right, which to Aelin is super fishy still. But that's all.
cool. So, you guys sit down to your rest and in the relative safety because of the nice investigation rolls. You guys rest for your hour. I assume it's pretty silent between the group of you. Or is there any conversation of like, well, what do we do next? You know, does that conversation happen?
I think that Aelin would have been trying to mental map the path that they took, and then the like entrances and exits that she saw on the whole way, like that way, and try to figure out if she can kind of make an idea of where they should go next. In terms of like, okay, we know that they went north. We saw 2 exits going to the left that way. We're here. Just try to work it out in her brain.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. What about Farron and Chester?
So, Chester is relaying this all back mentally to the Aboleth, right?
Yep.
Like, we're taking a break now.
Yep.
They're asking me questions about what I said.
Yeah. And he's, you know, you every time when you guys were running, you were like, you know, 60 feet left, 30 feet right. Upstairs, 30 feet straight. Like,
Perfect.
You were prompted to give directions as you were running through. So arguably,
Perfect.
The Aboleth probably knows exactly where you are.
Yay.
Again, you're in his house.
So does that mean we get our hour?
You do indeed get your hour. You can recover what you want to recover. Nice roll. Is it nice not having a negative Constitution modifier,
It's
Megan?
so fucking nice. You have no idea. Holy shit.
Let's use one.
Even better when I'm pretty sure you have the highest con out of all of us.
That +3 though.
Yep.
Yeah, I have 17.
Yeah, when you roll. When
When I only have to roll 1 hit die to get all the way back up, it's real nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So you finish your recovery, the three of you, and you get up. So what's the plan? Is the plan to retrace your steps, or is the plan to try and find a way to the surface? Try and find the group? Like, what's the options here for the Farron, Aelin, Chester crew?
My vote would be to try to map a way back to them, like a way around. So not necessarily go immediately back the way that we went, but try to find a way around back to where they were, not to the surface necessarily, to find the group.
Sure.
Chester totally agrees with staying down in the sewers.
Yeah, hold on.
No, he's going to tell you what he suggested.
Yup.
So, Farron, what's your thoughts on the situation?
I don't want to stay down here for more than I have to. I don't like the look of that beast, but I suppose you're right. We should try and skirt our way around it if we can.
I like to see the two different perspectives here. The Arkady, the more practical Arkady, Hannibal, Morella group of, we got to get to the surface. Like, this is a botch mission. Like, let's just get to safety. Let's come back again at it. And then it's the Heart crew, right? The Heart crew of Aelin and Farron and Chester. Like, no, we have to go back. Like, we have to find them. Like, obviously they're in peril without us. Like,
obviously
they're in
all
need of our
super
assistance.
danger.
Right. And so, like, you guys are like, we're gonna brave
Morella's
these tunnels
leading
to find our party members, come hell or high water. Probably the latter. And then the other group's like, fuck this shit, out. Top of the staircase, let's go. We're done. Ex-nay on the Urs say. Like, we're
They
out.
need the meat shields, the coward, and the angel. They just need.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, I though?
I just love that dynamic anyway. So, the three of you, roll me a survival check. Each one of you roll me a survival check, which is kind of the check we're going to use to navigate your way through these sewers and get to where you need to go.
Was that the the Heart group?
Nope, not you. Yeah, the Heart. Oh yeah, the Heart group. Chester, Aelin, and Farron. Aelin, you're just a natural at this. Probably because you have high wisdom, right?
I will survive.
Yeah, right. So you're a natural at kind of looping back around and going. Chester is actually fairly big help as well, right? Like, he's maybe at the small points at which you were like, oh, I don't know. Chester's like, no,
The aboleth is feeding map directions to it.
you don't know that.
I know. Fuck.
Doesn't this suck? Doesn't it suck when you
great.
fail your wisdom saves? Farron is
Man,
no
I
help
haven't
at
had
all,
fan-
though.
I'm too preoccupied thinking about that monster.
Yeah, right, yeah. Farron, you're, like, looking in the shadows, like, fuck, is it there? No? Okay. Like, a dripping water, like, triggers you a little bit, and you're like, oh, no, okay, gotta, your heart is racing. And then, like, you're thinking about the fucking tongue lashing you're gonna get when you finally do find Arkady, or when you become haunted by Arkady.
Yeah.
Right? So, chat says Chester rolling good is bad.
Chester rolling good is great.
So, eventually, you guys get to, you break out kind of into a more open area, and you think you've navigated your way kind of a roundabout, as you said, Aelin, to where you kind of need to be. Like, the approximate direction that they were headed, and the approximate depth in when you were at, and then up and then down and up and then down, and, you know, going through the sewer systems. You're kind of following the flow as well. Like, you're looking at the cisterns and which direction they're flowing, and you're like, okay, well, and you can see very, like, there's etchings, right? Like, location, like markers, right? And so you know which one you were at, and so, like, you're trying to, like, basically trace the grid pattern in an L shape, right? To get back to an appropriate kind of rendezvous point. And that's actually where I am going to... I'm going to move a couple of you. Just a couple. Just a few of you. So Farron... And let's go ahead and move Twitch, because that's going to matter. And Aelin. And Chester. So... you guys are here now. You should be able to... I think all of you have like vision, right? So you guys are all fine.
Yeah.
In that particular.
Man, lucky I'm a good player.
Yeah, no joke. So when you get to this point,
it makes sense
Chester,
now why you can see everything before.
Chester, don't ping stuff, okay? Don't ping stuff. It's fine. It's fine. Pinging stuff is being a bad player. When you get to this point, you begin to hear the sounds of what sounds like music coming from up and around the corner. And you can hear someone humming. And it sounds a bit like this. And it sounds like it's coming from up and around the corner. So the three of you are free to move about the cabin.
Did you hear that?
For all intents and purposes, it sounds like human vocals.
Okay.
So this is where I let you just control my token?
No, you can act freely. You're
Oh,
giving
God,
no direction at this point.
I'm just following you guys. This is bad.
Shh. Let me scout it out first.
So it sounds like, everybody go ahead and stop right there for a second. It sounds like Farron is coming from this over here. You can see where the cobblestone has actually been broken up and the wall is collapsed in, and it leads into natural dirt. So everybody can continue again. So everybody stop right there. Farron, you peek around the corner, and you can see the torchlight of the torch lying on this table. And you see this old man sitting on a stool in front of this stone table. And it's got all these instruments and weird things surrounding it. But I think what probably dominates your vision even more than that is this giant pile of bodies. Mostly skeletal remains. Upon initial review, it looks like most of them are human. Or animal, like large animal. Maybe crocodiles or maybe cows, that kind of thing. And this man right here appears to be the one humming. He's hunched over his stool. His back is arched in such a way from one who is hunched over a lot of their life. And you can see there's like a walking stick kind of propped up against the table. And he's got this device that has like a little like mechanical metal arm that comes down is in front of him, and you can see there's this large round like piece of glass, but it looks distorted in some way. You as a player would identify it as like a magnifying glass, right? But Farron may not have ever seen anything like that before. But it looks like it's like on like a little stand that comes up and like comes down in front of someone. And it's like a magnifying glass, almost like if you see somebody like in fact, roll me a... What do I want you to roll me here? Roll me a perception check, but with intelligence. I think is what I want here. Perception with intelligence. And 18 is good enough. This looks like jeweler's equipment.
Oh. No, there was lots of talk about jewelers whilst we were here last.
Yeah, there's a couple of specific instances where jewelers were mentioned. Here it comes. You ready? Uh-huh. Indeed. There was a vision Hannibal had. Hannibal, who'd you tell about that? Because I think you only told Marilla. You told everyone? Okay.
Okay.
So, Farron, you can recall, like, as Hannibal described it, an old man leaned over a stone table, surrounded by darkness. He's in the bottom of the sewers, right? And you can hear him humming. So, what do you do?
First, I use thief hand signals to Chester.
Sure. You thieves can't with your hand?
Yes.
Okay.
One person. Oh God.
You rolled 27. This guy has no idea you're there.
Yeah, totally. I'm just trying to think of... Should I call out to him, or...
Are you gonna... Aelin, you're kind of, for lack of a better term, in the dark here.
Yeah, I mean, I was told to kind of wait and have him scout ahead, so that's what I'm doing.
Chester,
I'm kind of loud and not stealthy, so...
you can only see this right here. This is your only sliver of vision.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with them. I'm like,
This is your sliver of vision. So, what do you do, Farron? He looks old. His hair is kind of thin, and kind of just falls kind of unkempt down his back. You can see he's like very kind of heavily balding on top. And it's because it's thin, so it's got kind of that like strands of string hanging from his head look. Because it's all white. You can see that he's got kind of a patchy beard or patchy facial hair, just from the side. And he appears to be like using this magnifying glass, and he's like working on something.
Yeah, I would probably signal to Chester something like, I'm going in. It's kind of like, I'll be going in alone kind of signal. Oh, there's a lot of bodies.
Chester would obviously move back to support him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you enter, Farron, you see that there are far more bodies than just the one pile.
God bloody dang it. I didn't think I'd find anyone down here.
You get no response.
So you just continue working?
Yep. Just humming away and working.
Oh, you seem to have been doing a lot of work down here. Can I ask your name?
Still no response.
Oh God. What you working on there, sir? So I obviously have my weapons drawn.
Yeah. So you move up there, and he's humming, and he stops, and you see his headlight come up, and he looks around a little bit, and he turns. Nope, not yet, Chester. He turns and he sees you, and he goes, "Ah! Ah!" and he like stumbles off of his stool and tumbles backwards, like clutching at his chest. And you can see, like, falling from his hand is clearly like a piece of a jewel crafter's kit, and this almost glowing green stone falls to the ground and kind of tinkles under the desk. And he's like, who are you? What do you want?
Sorry,
I don't have nothing.
Sorry, I called out to you. I just found it surprising that someone
Please
else's
don't hurt
time.
me. You can take what you want.
No, don't worry. These are some interesting jewels you're working
He
with.
flinches away from you. He like has his hands up in front of his face.
Hey, do you mind me asking what kind of jewels
Aelin,
they
you
are?
can hear the old man kind of screaming out.
Yeah, I look across to Chester and kind of give him a like, what do you see? Should I move? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean,
Chester just puts up his hand to be like, stop, don't move, stay there. Farron's scouting.
Okay, I nod and kind of settle back in, but ready to run in if I need to.
yeah. Farron, it's pretty obvious the man is deaf.
Okay.
And you've walked up upon him with your weapons drawn.
I put my sword away. Which I'm sure is a very bad idea, but
Yeah, so when you put your sword away, he kind of cocks his head to the side and like he looks around and he you see him like glance a couple times up at this exit here.
and I start mouthing very widely. Sorry to disturb you. I did not mean to frighten you.
Yeah, sure. You do the stupid talk. And he kind of like looks at you and he like shakes his head. He's like, you shouldn't be here. They'll find out. He'll find out. He'll kill us all. I just make the gems for them. They keep me alive. And he's like hyperventilating at this point. And he begins to like kind of like backwards crab crawl away from you, back to this wall.
Who are you talking about? Who do you make the weird stone for?
Yeah, and you're like, you point to the stone and like point to it, and then you like motion around like, who is that for? Right? And it takes a moment, and he kind of looks. He's like, it's for the War Master. He will kill us all. I can't. He's going to get me. And the old man gets up and begins to run out this direction. And when he gets to here, Chester, kill him.
So, obviously, seeing a guy pop up out of nowhere, I'm just going to fire a bolt at him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm hidden too, so...
You destroy him. So, you hear a thunk.
Do it.
And you hear a... and he falls and collapses. Dead.
Seeing Chester make the shot and then hearing that, I just scream, "What have you done?" And I like run forward to see what I see.
Yeah, you guys are still in free action mode.
There's a man running away. He must be part of the cult. Or whoever else is down here.
God damn it, Chester. You know more than anyone that you would have been useful to interrogate.
I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to stop him. I just missed.
Well, I think we found where the wield stone was being made.
Yeah. So, you guys gather around the body. Now I want the three of you to pause for a moment. In place, because it's time for the rest of the crew to arrive.
Pretty good shot. That's some real crap damage.
And with that, I think we'll take our break.
Alright.
Alright.
Yay.
Jesus.
So let's be back at 5 after. Take a little bit of a shorter break. Be back at 5 after the hour.
All right.